Waste management and recycling in the country remains a lucrative industry that means millions of shillings each day for players. Initially, garbage collection was in the hands of the city council, which collected 90% of the waste generated in the city. Unknown to many Nairobi residents is that the garbage menace has created a multi-million shilling industry over the years. The sector is firmly in the hands of cartels that seem to operate above the law. The Star has established that unfair competition, extortion, and intimidation are among some of the strategies used to lock out young companies intending to venture into the business. Many of these have ended up closing shop. It is said these cartels have taken over the Dandora dam site and harass new entrants in the business. They make the environment so difficult that millions of investments go down the drain. With the inception of county governments in 2013, the county then under Governor Evans Kidero adopted a public-private partnership model which business entrepreneurs would bid for tenders to collect and transport the waste to the dump site. Those who made early entries into the business reaped massive profits and expanded their fleet as they flexed muscle to control the sector. Bids for the garbage collection tenders marked the turning point in the growing industry of solid waste management, which saw the now multi-million industry come under the control of a handful of companies and city politicians. Sources at City Hall reveal that the outlawed Mungiki sect, in the desire to spread its wings, further sneaked into the business. The group is alleged to have taken hostage of the Dandora dam site through extortion, intimidation, and violence. To date, the dam site is said to still be under their control. But City Hall has denied the claim, saying it provides a checklist to bidders which include a fleet of trucks specifically designed to collect and transport garbage. But sources said the companies who dance to the tune of the cartels do not go through stringent rules and are said to operate in blatant disregard of Nairobi City County bylaws. Our investigation at the dump site established that most of the trucks disposing the waste are dilapidated and unroadworthy, hence end up spewing garbage on their route. In fact, the bulldozers supposed to compress and move the garbage to create waste at the dump site spend the better part of the day pulling these trucks as they can rarely move on top of the already declared full site. Due to the vehicle's dilapidated state, most of them have resorted to dump the waste in undesignated dump sites. Some trucks even empty the trash along Jogoo Road at night as they cannot make it to the 30-acre dump site. In a bid to be at the same tonnage with those collecting the waste in nearby zones to the site.
Number ya gari bwana 357 C.
Some companies are forced to either load their trucks with soil and rocks or cover it with little garbage. At other times, these trucks are not emptied at the dump site. They drive out with half-filled garbage and move in nearby estates to fill the remaining half and line up again. Environment Executive Larry Wambua told us that with an estimated population of 5 million people, the county generates 2,500 tons of garbage in a day. Wambua admits City Hall is still doing badly in terms of collection, in that some 1,800 tons of garbage lie uncollected in the streets daily.
Our garbage generation in the city of Nairobi is currently at 2,500 tons per day. We have been doing fairly badly. We are collecting about 700 to 800 tons per day, leaving 1,800 tons uncollected daily. We have been having about 150,000 tons lying uncollected in our estates, some of it in our streets and some of it in our rivers. And that figure was increasing at the rate of 1,800 tons daily.
The county spends between 70 million and 100 million in a month on collecting this garbage. This amounts to about 1.2 billion in a year. This is why perhaps the business has generated a big appetite, with all quarters running to have a stake. Although Governor Mike Sonko has shown good intention to make Nairobi clean, the presence of entrenched cartels with a huge influence in the waste management chain have impeded his reforms in the sector as they benefit from the status quo. Sonko has been on the spot several times with the public outrage over little efforts to sort out the menace. But in his defense, he accused the previous administration of sabotaging the entire garbage collection.
And the problem which was there, if I may say, the sabotage of garbage in Nairobi, we blame the garbage collectors on that, or some of the cartels, if I may put it, if I may say. For instance, there is a case whereby a garbage, you find a garbage collector collecting hardcore stones, to the Dandora dump site, just to swindle the county.
A regeneration team led by Tourism and Wildlife CS Najib Balala and Sonko himself, with the Kenya Defence Forces and the National Youth Service taking over major operations on the garbage collection, was formed to ensure Nairobi restores its glory. But Wambua says, though the county now spends about 15 million per month, the cartels are still reaping big with massive profits.
It was high. It was sometimes going as high as 70, 80, sometimes even 100 million a month. But we have brought it down to about 15, 20 million a month. If you are running one truck, how would you justify a claim of 20 million a month or 15 million a month?
The issue of illegal dump sites and poor infrastructure at the Dandora dump site also begs the question as to whether the county will manage to clear the garbage menace as directed by President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Wananchi wa Nairobi wamechoka. Na Governor Sonko, hata wewe mwenyewe unajua ya kwamba tuliahidi wananchi wa Nairobi ya kwamba wakitupatia nafasi sisi kama wanajubilii kuongoza jiji hii, tutabadilisha maisha ya wananchi wa mji huu.
Many of these sites are located in the slums of Kibera, Mathare, Kawangware, Mukuru kwa Njenga, Kiambio, Kayole and Gomongo. But Wambua says these illegal dump sites have however been reclaimed and turned into recreational centers or children playgrounds.
3,000 families depend on this dump site daily for a livelihood, where the county says it dumps 1,500 tons of garbage in a day. The county says though 2,500 tons of garbage is generated daily in the city, some 150,000 tons lie uncollected in the streets and in the estates. Reporting for the Star Online, I'm Patrick Idija.